Okay, I went ahead on the other side, and yeah, basically I took that shape we made and I just kind of added a whole bunch of wires, add a little bit of detail here. You can mess around with that. Now you can pause the video and try to add all this stuff in. That's pretty much the idea, though. That's about done. You could add this thing in. I mean, that's basically exactly like this, just with a little extrusion there with the wire, how we did it before. And that's about all. What we could do here is we could set up some decent lighting or a render, but yeah, might as well do that. All right, so let's get rid of these curves. Let's go to Window and Hypergraph. Highlight everything and hit Control G, make one giant group. And then what we're going to do is, if you want, you could really kind of go in here and go nuts with your grouping. So your scene's nice and organized, Control G. And you'll see what you just created is that. It could get crazy, you could name everything. I'm not going to do that, but I'd definitely recommend you do that. So we're going to go to Create, Polygon Primitive. We're just going to go ahead and create a plane. This is called Infinity Plane. Make it very long. And go to Edge. I just double click there to get that, and I'm going to hold Control and I'm going to deselect all the stuff I don't need. I don't want any of that. Okay. Now I'm going to hit Control E to extrude and hit W. Go to my right view, front view, nope. Left view, there we go. Control E again, hit W. Control E, W. Okay. So there you go, that's my infinity plane. Maybe I want to make this thing a little bit higher. So let's go ahead and go to vertex mode. And I assume that you guys remember how to use your polygon, so I'm not going to really go over that. Just going to extend this thing out here a little bit. All right. Let's go ahead and put a light in. Let's do some simple 3-point lighting. So let's do a spotlight. Let's do a point light. Hit 7 on your keyboard so you can see what the light does. I'm going to take the intensity here. I'm going to put it to like 0.3. Could backlight this front light. We're going to put one here. And we're using 3-point lighting, so put one there. Control D, W. Let's check out the intensity of this. 0.3. Okay, good. And now we're going to go ahead and create a spotlight. Spotlight's really hard to see what it does if you're not kind of looking through it. But this version of Maya, it's actually pretty good to see what's going on here. So, changing the height and adjusting the angle will mess around with the shadows. Okay, so we definitely need to turn the intensity of this thing down to about 0.4. And you see this hard edge? We don't want that. That looks bad. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to drop off and put about 40. Okay, good. That's good. Okay. All right, so far so good. Let's Go to the attribute editor. And we'll go to shadows. Just make sure they're all using ray trace shadows, which they all are. Okay, we're good. The last thing we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to supply you with an image. I'm just going to get an image of the solar system or outer space, and then we're going to do something with it. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to Window, Rendering Editors, Rendering Settings, and make sure you're using Mental Ray. If you're not, just call me over and I could help set that up. It'll only take a minute. And we're going to go to Scene, and it says Image-Based Lighting. We're going to go to Create. We're going to Image Name, and you're going to browse to my public samples. I'm just going to go to my desktop. And it's going to be called Solar System, so I'll just go ahead and do that now. Right there, Solar System image. You're not going to see it. It's here. It's kind of a muddy image. It's kind of muddy, but that's okay. We're going to go to Render Stats, and we're going to check this, Primary Visibility. I don't want to actually see that when I render it. We're just using it to catch the reflections off here, so. Okay, that's good. All right. Quality. If you're not using Mental Ray, that'll still work. It's not a big deal. We don't have Mental Ray. Overall quality, I'm just going to put 1. Lighting quality 1. I'm going to keep that off because it takes way too long to render if that's on. That's good. And let's do 1K square. We can do like something bigger. We'll just do 1K square again so it doesn't take forever to render. All right. And let's do this. And I'm going to go ahead and hit the render button and pause it. Let's see. Do I need to pause? How long is this going to take? That shouldn't be too bad. We're getting there. Okay, that's good. I don't like all these shadows I have here, so we're going to get rid of that. So we're going to click on this. We're going to go to Render Stats, and we're going to go to Receive Shadows. I don't want it to receive shadows. Actually, I don't even want it to cast shadows. I just want it to bounce light, so that's good. We could do something with the material, so we're going to go to Material Attributes, and we can go to Reflectivity. And we could put like, instead of 0.5, we could put like 2. That's going to dramatically increase our the reflective nature of this thing. All right. So let's see what this looks like. Okay. And you'll notice that the surface now isn't getting all those shadows. And that's pretty much what we want. That looks kind of cool. It's shiny. Looks pretty decent. Kind of a weird texture, but looks good. That's what we're looking for. For the glass, maybe you want to put a new material. Put a anisotropic. And, you know, just so it's slightly different. And maybe on this material, you don't want it so reflective, so maybe 0.3. Let's see what that looks like. You know, you could basically play around with these things until you get what you're looking for. See, anisotropic gives it a completely different look. And there you go. All right, I'm going to pause this, play around with the rendering, and then I'll show you the final result. Okay, so after changing around some lights and messing around with materials, this is what the render came out. I think it looks pretty good. The way I did this was, I did backlighting instead. I actually took the spotlight and put it in the back. And I added some materials there that are specific to mental ray, which you don't need, but I think they look pretty good. So yep, that's that. I think it has a good look to it. There it is. Has a good look to it. You can mess around with these a little bit. They give you slightly different looks. So each one of these, gives you a little bit different look. That's too dark. And that's it. So hopefully you found this tutorial easy to follow and your model came out good. Okay, that'll do it.